Yo, what's going on, guys? Koi here. Today we are going to be doing another episode of the uh, pretty much character build slash explanation video on how to best utilize each character. This is more of a tuned in, toned in version of the main list I made originally. If you don't know that list, it's in the guides playlist. That list is specifically made to show normally the positions of each characters and such, just to really show off. So I do need to do an updated list, but I'm waiting until the end of the month in order to do like maybe a monthly list, so we could really see everyone's positioning. All right, but today we are going to be talking about Silver Fang and the build that I would recommend and pretty much the best way to utilize this guy. Now he is an amazing character and he has one of the most unique builds in the entire game, due to the fact that he is running a neg crit build. If you don't know what a neg crit build is, a neg crit build is normally a build that requires the person to have negative crit damage and negative crit rates in order to pretty much like have the best damage output possible. And this dude is an incredible, I would say, attacker slash defender. I wouldn't say he's like an all-out DPS, but you can build him for that. But unlike crit builds, normally neg crit builds normally lead to defensives, and that's why we're going to start talking about the actual memory and the will. So let's go ahead and start talking about these. So I got Resolute Defense here. Resolute Defense reduces the crit rate but increases defense by 25%. This dude's entire kit is based off of reduced damage anytime he gets a hit in, but you also want to make sure he has reduced damage if you're running him as an AI bot, because this helps in both ways, whether you're actually maining the character or whether he's one of your side piece characters, because he works amazing as an AI offhand support, because he actually will stay in the fight, and more often or not he'll get lucky doing the skills way better than you would. But it really just depends on your skill, because totally maining Silverfang is totally the way to go, because he's just one of those characters that you can do. Totally an awesome flex character that could definitely go back and forth. But let's go ahead and move on to the next one. So we got Resolute Survival. Same thing, you want that 25% HP, 25% defense. You want to make sure his stats go up. We got basic attack. Attack is always necessary on these kind of builds, especially for a character that actually doesn't benefit from crit. You still want this dude to output some pretty good numbers. You don't want him to pretty much fall behind DPS wise. We got resolute attack here, which is also an amazing beneficial, which is for negative crit rate, you also gain a massive attack bonus and another 40%. Not too hard to build. If you don't know, this character does build potential as well. I am going to dip into potential right after this. I just thought that it would be better to talk about the build and then the character, how he plays, and then right at the end we'll talk about the gameplay. Exquisite defense. Now here, this one specifically, I think that is probably the best way to build him, because there is the dodge version of this, but I feel like whenever he actually does get his parries off, whenever he, clashes fists and he gets that reduced damage, I feel like that does count as an accurate block. Even though he is technically a dodge character, I see this character being more defensive. He's just up in the front punching without having to deal with anything. Next we got River Trail. River Trail at max potential. Recharging the ancient martial art is 40 times faster. I mean, 40% faster, huge. And then you also gain a 12% damage bonus when the HP is not full, because you're obviously going to be taking a lot of damage, but that's negligible. You're going to be doing so much damage just based off of everything else. I did add one bonus of just Indomitable Will, because just in case he could be that real clutch unit. Now, you can switch this on and off. I would recommend, if you don't really feel this, then I would actually just add in another. Let's go ahead and add in another affix. I would say that probably more of a maybe turn the tables. I mean, not turn the tables. What's the other one called? It's it's a very specific one. I think it is a mechanic based one. No. Oh, uh, man, what is the specific one? This is countermeasures. This is attack. Oh no, I'm talking about a completely different one that you can't go for in this specific category. That's okay. you can just like pretty much go for like that's what I was gonna say. Immortal Castle. You can stack this up for like 25% extra defense. It really just depends on how much you plan on using them, because in some cases like the AI will pretty much do most of the work for you. It's not dumb. Like it'll pretty much work for you while you're using whatever DPS character you want. This is solo tank if you wanted to. Not recommended, because obviously you're going to want to build this dude up to an extent, such as we're going to talk about the main stats. I think that there's plenty of offensive and defensive capabilities on the actual build of affixes to not really worry about the main stat. I would say get lucky with the pieces as you go through. And if you're going to main this character, I would totally work on defense and HP first, and then work on attack last, because this is just one of those niche characters that is more. You get way more worth out of the character being more tanky and more defensive, so he could actually keep your team alive over other characters. And this is mostly specifically because you could run behind the boss, pretty much make sure your dudes don't get in trouble, and really just like play what's the phrase? Play cat and mouse while your teammates are pretty much doing ridiculous damage. Freaking Tatsumaki, Metal Knight, Genos, Mortal, both Genoses are great supports. Stuff like that. Substats, I would recommend attack and HP. I don't think that it's necessary to really go all in on the defense. I think being able to take a hit is already going to be on the menu. Now it's just going to be able to have that little bit of survivability by stacking HP just as a sub-stat bonus. You don't really need to worry about this stuff too much. I would say that the first thing you want to worry about is affixes, then main stats, then sub-stats. Because realistically speaking, this costs a lot of freaking money to build. And you're not going to be able to really touch up on this type of stuff until like later on in the end game. Let's talk about his potential route. So his potential route's pretty cool. The depletion window, which means pretty much the parry that he gains off of his M1s and his skills, pretty much is gaining more window. Over here, this one is more impassioned, so he could keep stacking even more damage. Swift moves can be accurate dodge, extends the enhancement duration by seconds. Whenever you trigger the depletion successfully with the R martial arts skill, you will gain enhanced effects. Now, this is very, very niche, because you won't really be using this if you're the AI, but you'll be using this more if you're actually going in on that as a just more playing cat and mouse, because you could stay enhanced the entire time and really just save your own butt by fighting a very, very strong boss, even solo. Raid series level limit. Now, Raid series is a pretty interesting affliction. I think that I don't really want to build towards that position because, it's not really worth it. I would just take whatever they give you, which is the level limit +2. So, it's just nice to have that bonus too. But this is where it gets interesting. If affixes provide an attack percentage bonus more than 100%, each 1% adds an extra bit of damage bonus with a maximum of 70%. So you remember that entire build of all the affixes that we did to just add attack? We can go back real quick and really just talk about those and just really number it out to show you how much we're actually getting from it. So let's go ahead and talk about impassioned. That's 85% already. Let me just oh god, I don't have my calculator. That's 85%. Then we got an attack bonus 40%. So freaking 125%. 125%. And I think that's about it. Besides the extra, you can go more attack. The only thing is this, just you're gonna get that extra bonus after you get the thing, so you're gonna get a little more out of it. But it really just depends. We might even get more affixes in the future to make this character even more broken, but as of this moment, I do see you potentially making a full 70% bonus build on top of that. It's just that it's just going to be a little harder to do, and you might even have to go glass cannon in order to do it. Over here, recharge limit of crushing punch increases to 6 stats. That's pretty crazy. Crushing punch increases to 25%. Each depletion triggered adds a 10% damage bonus. This effect can be stacked by another 10%. Now, this is, of course, wishful thinking. If you're a whale, I would recommend recommend always using the standard banner. I don't think limited characters are worth wasting unless you're just going to go for the characters and not the weapons. But I always want both. Like, I want the best of both worlds. I'm just that kind of guy. So let's go ahead and talk about the actual training. So let's go ahead and drop into the world, and I'll show you guys the best way to use this character. So, with this character, he has a mode. This allows you to pretty much build up. As you can see, if you look at the E skill, now we actually have the E. Whenever you actually hit with the E, you just want to make sure you counter. So, such as, you want to kind of make sure that it's like your counter, so to speak. Alright. Oh. Alright, here we go. Counter. Oh. Now, I'm a little bad with Silver Fang. Don't blame me too much. Alright. 1, 2. As you can see, we get the defensives. That's a block. That's another block. Alright, we're building bar. And then, boom. This is where we go crazy. Now, the only problem with this is that, you know, if the target is moving, you do want to be careful. Oh, man. You could actually use all these skills for pretty much defensive purposes. Like that. You could use that. It's a free dodge, the Q is. The parry is amazing. Alright, parry again. And there we go. Alright, that's about it. There's not really much to it. It really just is about what you're aiming for. So, thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Hit that notification bell down below. I'll see you guys later. I hope this video helped you out. Peace out.